I recently did a little job for a guy, and he wanted me to transfer some of his favorite samples from his computer over to some Akai S1000 programs. And he sent the files over to me, and I got started. And I have to say, this really takes me back to the early 90s, where I did this a lot for my own music. He even wanted me to send him floppies of the results, and as such, I had to format a couple of high-density floppy disks. You remember that sound? Sampling on the S1000, setting up programs, etc. was a breeze compared to some other samples in the late 80s and early 90s, and Akai's were really kings of sampling at this point. In this case here, I have to set up the S1000 for stereo sampling, and it's just a matter of just going through all the options and not changing anything. The default settings are perfect here, except for the recording time. I'm setting a slightly longer recording time than 1 second. Let's go for 8 seconds this time. Now it's just a matter of pumping audio in through the inputs of the S1000, setting the threshold level and just monitoring the levels. And I arm the S1000, it's waiting for audio. This audio is not part of the job. This is a song of mine used for demonstration purposes here. And now I can play it back. At moderate recording levels, the S1000 is pretty clean. But you can hear the artifacts when I lower the pitch. Of course, when the sampling is done, we have to trim the sample, set the start point and end point and loop point, etc., depending on what you want to do with the sample. And again, in the S1000 with its big display at the time, this was pretty easy actually. It can often be useful to play at a lower pitch to set the right start point. And here's the kicker of the S1000, something you cannot do with the S1100. By driving the input stage, setting the recording level high, you can really add rich harmonic overtones by using the PCM conversion going on inside of the S1000 again. You will not get this result with the S1100. I had that as well, because it uses another type of conversion inside. And a lot of my old drum samples were made on the S1000, driving the input stage. Let me give you an example by sampling a snare drum. So I'm going to sample this pretty hard. And there, it's done. Listen to that, it sounds quite different. So now I'll trim it and make it into what I want. Very nice. And that's it. I have another video showing how I build up a drum program from scratch, so check that out as well. As always, I'm Espen Kraft, and thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Cheers.